In the beginning, there was man. Then man made the machine in his own likeness. Thus did man become the architect of his own demise.
Coming this June on DVD and video from the creators of the Matrix trilogy. What is the Animatrix?
We know the truth now.
Experience the extraordinary fusion of CG animation and Japanese anime in a groundbreaking collection of 9 animated stories from 7 visionary directors that takes the world of the Matrix to its unimaginable limits.
I'm going back to the Matrix, and I want you to come with me.
A mind-bending excursion into the world of the Matrix. This June, discover how deep the rabbit hole really goes.
Hey everybody, I'm Jay Bullington.
And I'm Keith Carcino, and we want to know,
Have you seen this one?
Cassie came over, and Cynthia and Steve came over, and Risha, and Sandy and actually, Sandy wasn't feeling well. Like, you haven't been feeling well. How are you doing?
I feel a lot better now. I feel so much better now. I needed a week though to kind of get it through me. I still have a little lingering cough, but for the most part,
I can hear it.
I'm
when
on the
we were
mend.
talking earlier.
Yeah. It comes and goes.
And Liza and Carissa are doing okay.
Yeah, they got it after me. I feel a little bit responsible for giving it to them.
No,
but
it's gonna take one way or the other to get
right. I think there's a lot going on around here right now too. A lot of people dealing with the same exact sickness, so it's only a matter of time. But you had an awesome birthday celebration. You enjoyed it?
Very, very fun, very fun. We had a good time just hanging out. And then I kept telling everybody, well, I can't stay up too late because I'm recording tomorrow because we're doing episode number 201. Here we are, episode 201.
201.
And before we get into the movie, which is a very different one that you've from other movies you've recommended, let's talk about what's entertaining us lately. What's new for you?
Well, some of it's new, some of it's not. I was flipping through, I was channel surfing the other night, and I happened to come in as Talk to Me was about to begin. So I was like, okay, it's a sign. So I watched Talk to Me again, and I love the movie, but I hate the main character. The main character just so selfish. I know we've talked about it before, but it just revitalized my hatred for her and how selfish she was, and she put the safety of her close friends in jeopardy just so that she could spend one moment with her dead mother. It was rough, but the movie itself was fantastic. Really, like one of the better horror movies that came out last year, I have to say. There's this other one that kind of reminded me of it that I saw. It's from 2023. It's called Baghead, and I think the way that I would Baghead. I saw it on Shudder. It's another horror movie.
Baghead,
I think a way to describe it would be a mix of Talk to Me and Barbarian is kind of how it felt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's about this.
Is intriguing. Okay.
Right. It's about this young girl whose father died. Her father owned this like bar with the basement underneath. And when he died, she inherited it from him, the bar and the basement, not knowing that with the deed also comes this dark secret. There's this entity that lives inside the basement that you can conjure the dead from this entity at the basement. But the more that they use the entity, the more that they become possessed themselves. It was a decent movie. It wasn't the best movie I've ever seen in the world, but it was definitely one that caught my attention. I love the premise. And
sounds kind of fun.
I would recommend it. The other one that I saw, well, I did see one. I love shark movies and movies about being stranded in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
I came across another one. It's from the Open Water franchise. This one was Open Water 3 Cage Dive, which sounds very similar to that of 47 Meters Deep. You remember we covered that one not too long ago.
Oh yes.
This one I would pass on it. There are better versions of Open Water that I would probably want to watch before this one. I would pass on it. And there were some things that the characters did that just was like, why would you do that? They're so stupid. But anyway, I would not recommend that one. One that I would recommend, and this might be a good segue into asking what you have been watching, is one that I meant to talk about last time, but it just never happened. This is, of course, Late Night with the Devil.
Oh God, that's on my list. Yes.
My goodness, Jay. What do you think of this one?
Late Night with the Devil, one of the most fun movies I've seen in a long time. It
Agreed.
has humor, plus it has the darkness, and I'm just going to say there's a young actress in this movie who plays a victim, like a possessed person. Okay. She is, her performance is just fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Like, you young, I don't know who she is. If she's a young, she's not as young as she's playing, I don't think. But but
probably her early 20s. Yeah, 20s.
I would guess. Yeah. Yep. She is something else in this movie.
Yeah.
But also I love the how they balance the humor with the horror in this movie. It's just great. That's the most fun I've had watching a horror movie in a long time. That was on my
list. To agree. Really enjoyed it myself. I thought it was a fantastic movie. The way that it was done, it was nothing what I expected. I had no idea
not at all. Not at all.
Happen.
I love that.
Right, and all for the best reason. So I would highly recommend that one to anybody. I really enjoy that movie too. What else has been on your list? What else have you been entertained by lately?
Well, there's a season. There's a show on Hulu. It's got 2 seasons. It's called The Dark Side of Comedy, and it's a documentary series. And it talks about like Chris Farley and Andrew Dice Clay and Roseanne Barr. It talks about how things have, for one reason or another, how different comedians, careers have gone south or whatever.
Go through tough times, right?
Pretty interesting. They're on Prime. It's from 2023. It's a documentary called Back to the Drive-In. And they visit 11 different drive-ins in different areas of the country and talk about how the drive-in is still flourishing. And it starts at the beginning of the pandemic. It's like, when the pandemic started, people started coming to the drive-ins because they couldn't go to theaters.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
Well, then when the pandemic ended, it's like, oh, now we're really struggling. And it's really interesting story. And there's, like I said, there's 11 different drive-ins, and I think 3 of them are in Texas, which is so funny.
Oh, really? Oh, neat. Yeah. Okay.
And, I grew up, we went to the drive-in as a kid. My mom would make Coney Island hot dogs, and we'd bring them into the drive-in in our
that's
station
a fun
wagon.
Experience. Yeah.
Yeah. My sister would always fall asleep before the second show would start, She would always fall asleep before, Anyway, okay. There's a show on Netflix, a movie this year called Unfrosted.
Unfrosted. Okay.
Jerry Seinfeld is the main character. He's the actor. I think he's the producer also. Melissa McCarthy, Amy Schumer, Hugh Grant, Jim Gaffigan.
Oh my gosh.
It's about Kellogg's coming up with the idea for Pop-Tarts.
What?
It's incredibly funny. It's nutty. It's crazy. It's not true. It's not real. It's way over the top silly.
It's a cool list of comedians now, though. That's neat.
That's just the start. You would not believe the people that pop up in this thing. It's like, oh my God, look who that is. Cameos. Look who that is. I mean, in tiny little parts, it's just everywhere in this movie. It's hilarious. Really, really, really recommend this. It's really lots of fun. Okay. So we are going to get into the movie that you had me watch for this episode is The Animatrix from 2003. From the Wachowskis, from Lana and Lily Wachowski. They're the creators, but they're not really the directors because there are 9. There are 9 separate films. They call them 9, but really 2 of them is just part 1, part 2.
That's true. That's true.
It's really 8 to me. But anyway, 9 different
one story
animated films. A collection of 9 short films featuring stories related to The Matrix from 1999. Okay, so let's get into each section of this. I'm not going to, and I was telling you earlier, for this, because I was not, I'm cheating and being lazy. I took notes from Wikipedia.
I would highly recommend it because it's hard to describe and explain some of these stories.
But I'm not going to read verbatim these notes from Wikipedia because they are ridiculously detailed.
Right.
To the point where I'm like, somebody must have been on something when they were writing this. Somebody went down a rabbit hole and could not get out. Okay, but let's go ahead and start with the first section of this film, which is The Second Renaissance, Part 1.
The Second Renaissance.
The machines earned no respect from their masters. The machines worked tirelessly to do man's bidding. It was not long before seeds of dissent took root.
Hand over your flesh. The new world awaits you.
Kill them all!
May there be mercy on man and machine for their sins.
Okay, The Second Renaissance, Part 1. This is told by the machines, and it's similar, supposedly similar to the creation myth from the Book of Genesis, because they use phrases like "and for a time it was good." They use all this. Humanity develops artificial intelligence, and basically, this is the story of how did the Matrix start, right?
Right. Yeah.
People create robots, and then the robots become sentient. And then it's like, no, we're not robots, we're human beings. Okay, well, Keith, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I am not on the robot side. I'm sorry. You're not human beings. You are not human beings.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely, the battle between robots and humans, and how robots have kind of almost developed their own intelligence, and then they turn on the humans.
Yes.
Is kind of the idea.
The humans are, of course, being humans. They're being assholes to the robots. And this one android, this one robot, kills its owner and its pets. And Kelly, even though this is animated, Kelly, don't watch this.
Yeah.
Don't watch this.
Right. Yeah.
And so they deactivate the robot, but it's the first time that a robot has turned on its owner and said, no, screw you, I'm done with you, and brutally kills the owner.
Right.
Which to me, the way it's animated, the robot has this silly face and it's killing these people. Keith, this section did not work for me at all.
It
did not work for me at all.
I remember watching it through and thinking, wow, I don't remember any of this. And this is not the way I remember experiencing it when I was younger, when it first came out 20 years ago or so.
Yeah. Well, and it's basically telling the story that we already heard in The Matrix. Yes, the robots came to power, and then they made the humans their thing. Anyway, I'm zooming through this because I don't want to go through all the details. There is a second part. There's a part 2, the Second Renaissance Part 2, which is just continuing the story. I don't know why they split it into 2.
I don't either.
It's the same story.
Yeah, right. It's the same idea, just a continuation of the first one.
Yeah, and it's all about the robots doing a nuclear bombardment. Well, actually, the UN wants to do a nuclear bombardment against the robots. The problem is, robots aren't going to get hurt. Humans get hurt by nuclear stuff. Robots don't get hurt by it.
Right. Yeah. Dumb. But so the humans, of course, I can totally see humans making this stupid error where they try to black out the sun because they know the robots are, solar powered. So they figure, okay, let's take away its number one source, not realizing the horrible negative effects it would have on them as well.
On humans, yes.
Right, exactly. Like idiots, but yeah.
Oh, you're so stupid sometimes. I have to say also, okay, I'm not a big anime fan.
Right.
Because I don't like, it's not the storylines, I don't think the animation is that great.
Some of it, I like the differences in it. You get a kind of a sense of different styles of animation.
Well, we'll get into that coming up because the different episodes have different styles because they're different directors,
Right.
And some of them are better than others. This first one, I just did not. It was just a bunch of battle scenes, and oh my God, Keith, this whole movie is nothing but a bunch of video
fight
game battle
scenes,
scenes.
right,
Video game battle scenes.
right,
Oh my god. Anyway, okay, so these first two parts tell the Matrix prototype. Not impressed by the animation, bunch of battle scenes, already knew the storyline. Let's move on. Sorry.
All right.
Okay, so the next part 3, episode 3 is called Program.
What's real doesn't matter.
I won't look away from the truth. I can't.
Running away won't change anything!
You betrayed us, didn't you?
It's just a matter of time before Zion is wiped out.
Okay, so in this section, Program, the main character is named Sis, and she's playing a training simulation, which is a battle program.
Oh, right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then she gets into a battle with this guy she recognizes as, the name is Duo, Phil Lamar, who's a famous voice actor. He does a lot of cartoon voice of Futurama. He's on all that stuff. Anyway, they duel, and meanwhile he's saying, you know what, you took the red pill, but are you really happy in the real world? Isn't it better to go back to the fake world? And
right,
and that's what this thing is all about.
He's trying to convince her to come back to the world with him,
right,
and to leave.
And it goes on, and they battle, and argue, and they battle, and argue. And it's obvious that this isn't realistic, because physically they can't. There's no way in real life these people could do these things physically.
Right.
It's
jumping
ridiculous.
on top of roofs, and right.
So anyway, she stabs Duo in the throat, and all of a sudden she wakes up from a program. Oh, it was a training program. It was all, and okay, and it was like, okay, so I was better than the first section, and I did like the twist at the end. I thought it was interesting,
Right. I think she was, tested throughout this simulation, and she clearly passed because she, wanted to stick around and give up her chance for love in order to stay in. But yeah, again, I kept asking myself what's happening, and I kept turning towards Wikipedia to try to kind of get the backstory to have a better idea of what was really going on, because it's not, most of these stories, it's not quite clear.
No.
And of course, the Matrix is a very confusing place in itself, so yeah, there were some parts where I really
already
needed to
know from the first movie. And see, I didn't. Okay, let me ask you this. I own the Matrix, that movie. I have that. Okay, but the second and third one, I did not like the second and third ones. What did you think of? I agreed.
I liked the first one, kind of. It was interesting. It was different. I liked the ideas, but I did not get into the others too.
Really
as well.
good. I thought it was really interesting and different.
Yeah,
the second
reloaded
and third ones.
It was not. Yeah, it was a whiff for me too.
Did not work for me. The whole I can't remember if it's the second or third one, but there's like a rave. They spent like 30 minutes dancing at a rave and showing slow motion dancing. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, come on,
give me a break. Okay, so let's get on to episode 4.
World record.
Only the most exceptional people become aware of the Matrix.
Take your mark!
I have an unstable signal.
It's the last chance for me to prove them wrong. He cannot wake up. Do not let him wake up.
Okay, this one, world record. It's about Dan Davis. He's a track athlete, and he's competing in the 100-meter Summer Olympic Games. And he set a world record at one point, but he was caught.
It was revoked because
drug use.
Yeah, PED use. Yeah.
But he decided to do it again and prove them wrong. Okay, so this one, and the whole time I'm watching every one of these episodes, I'm like, whatever they're showing me is not real.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know it's the Matrix. Right. I know what's going to happen. Okay, this is going to be not real. Also, this is going to be not real. You just see it coming.
Sure.
But I really liked the animation style in this section.
Right. Yeah.
I like the color choices. I thought this one really, really stood out to me as far as the style, the way it looked. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah, this is one when I think of this whole movie. This is the one of the short stories that stands out more than others. Yeah,
right. Doesn't it stick out
for sure?
And of course, there's a twist at the end where he's not really in the race. It's all, it's in the Matrix, of course, because every episode has got this shit,
Right.
Okay. So kind of quick on that one, but I really did like that one. I thought it looked
I did
great.
like the part where, like he's running full speed and all of a sudden his like muscles spasm and they like crack and the entire crowd's like, oh my gosh. And instead of it slowing him down, he actually speeds up and ends up breaking the record by 8.72, which of course is never been done before. I don't think anyone's ever hit a sub 9-second 100-meter. It's just insane. But of course, it ends up costing him his ability to walk for the rest of his life, much less run. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of a dramatic, crazy ending for him. But it does end with him kind of breaking out of the leg braces and starting to walk again before he collapses again. But it's kind of like, shows his determination. But yeah, again, some of these are, longer than others. Some of these, I feel like this one was a little bit, it seemed to go pretty quickly, but hey, we're making it through it. We're doing it. Yeah, this was not this whole movie was completely, I remember thinking of it almost as though it was my first time watching it again, because I did not remember the storylines of any of them. It was really confusing, except for one, which I think is coming up. The one beyond, I think that was one that I do remember that one, but it was a little more straightforward. It wasn't as many, surprises. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go on to episode 5 then.
Okay.
And we have episode 5 is called Kid's Story.
Kid's Story.
They're coming for you. Get out. Get out now.
This is not real. The real world lies somewhere else.
Okay, Kid's Story is the only one of the animated shorts contained in the Animatrix in which Neo, Keanu Reeves, appears, though as a shadow. And it takes place during the 6-month gap between The Matrix and The Matrix Reloaded, where Neo has joined the crew of the Nebuchadnezzar?
Yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar. Am I saying that right? Nebuchadnezzar?
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
And I'm doing my best. Anyway, this teenager feels like this kid, he feels like there's something wrong with the world. He goes on his computer onto a hacker chat room and asks why it feels more real when he's dreaming than when he's awake. And he gets a response from an unknown person, which we're guessing is Neo, and then asks who it is and if he's alone. Okay, well, the next day he gets, tell me about this scene.
It's strange. Yeah. Is this the one where he's in class and and the phone rings?
Yes.
And he answers the phone
and his teacher's pissed at him.
And they tell him, get out of there. They're coming after you.
Yes.
Which very much felt like a Matrix style kind of idea.
Absolutely.
So of course, the teacher's trying to get him. He runs out of class and he sees these men that look like they're from the Matrix that are chasing after him. And he's running through the hallways and ends up escaping through a girl's bathroom out the window, holding on to this outside pipe.
Yes.
Climbs up to the roof, and there, of course, the Matrix guys are there waiting for him to kill him. And he's backed up against the roof, and he decides to put his faith in Neo, say, Neo, I know you're there, save me. And he just leans back and falls off the top of the roof.
Throws himself off the roof. Yeah.
Right. Which I thought, okay, I thought that, the Matrix would catch him and he'd be alive, but then no, it cuts to his funeral and you see that he actually did really die in at least the world that we know.
Yes, but then the next scene fades out as the kid wakes up in the real world to see Neo and Trinity watching over him. And they're like, and they say he has achieved self-substantiation, which, oh my God, it's like, this is getting too religious for me right now. Removing oneself from the Matrix without external aid was apparently what that meant, which was considered impossible. Okay, so in both the scene and the Matrix Reloaded, the kid believes that it was Neo who saved him, but Neo tells him that he saved himself.
Okay, right.
I gotta say, even though the record, I think this is my favorite one so far in the show.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I really thought this is my favorite. I loved the look of it. It was really interesting. The animation was good.
Well, I also thought it was much easier to follow than some of the other ones. And I think I'm like you too. I don't really enjoy the action-packed fight scenes as much. You know, I like the rising action, the build up, you know, up into that climax.
The actions, they're too repetitive. It's just the same thing. You just we're seeing it and seeing it again.
Right.
You're not telling any story. You know, you're not giving me a story when you do that.
Right.
Let's go to episode 6, Beyond.
Okay, Beyond.
Beyond. So, this house is haunted. You know you're not supposed to go in there.
You don't belong here.
Let go!
Seal the area off now.
So Beyond is about a 14-year-old girl named Yoko. She's looking for her cat Yuki, Yoko and Yuki.
Yoko and Yuki.
Yoko and Yuki out in the city. While she's around the neighborhood, which is somewhere in mega city that it looks like Tokyo. She meets this group of young kids, mostly young boys, and one of them tells her, "Oh, Yuki's in the haunted house where they all go to play." Well, this haunted house, there's something weird about this haunted house, and I can't even explain it.
Right. Yeah. It's like the laws of gravity don't really apply in certain places.
Yeah.
There's like a can that's like levitating off the ground by itself. Yeah. There's little weird anomalies that are happening in different parts within this kind of run down large building, and the kids of course are playing it and they think it's awesome, like, oh my gosh, look, I can hover over the ground, or you know, it's but of course
and then the agents come and ruin it, and then it's
right
and basically that's it. I mean, boom boom boom.
Right.
To me this one was meh. I just
it didn't really have, other than it was almost like a little snippet. It didn't really have a real plot or any issue.
I don't know. Okay, I see what you're doing here.
Right, and they like flattened it in one day and turned it into a parking lot, and then all of a sudden all of the mystery
is gone.
Is completely gone. It just goes away like that. I don't know.
The magic is gone. Whatever it was. That to me, that one
was a little bit of a swing and a miss.
It didn't really make any sense to me in the long run.
Right.
Let's just move on to episode 7.
That's fair. Let's do just that.
Okay, episode 7, a detective story.
Detective story.
I have a job for you. I'm looking for a computer hacker alias Trinity.
Trinity doesn't exist.
I knew this was some kind of trap.
You've stepped to the edge of the looking glass.
Okay, episode 7, a detective story. I thought this one looked really cool.
Yeah, this one was dark. It kind of like a Dick Tracy type vibe to it a little bit.
Sam Spade, Philip Marlowe. It's very, very film noir, like old black and white movies from the 40s, you know?
Right. Yeah.
It has on purpose, and they did a great job. They really achieved it. It was great. Carrie Ann Moss plays Trinity. She's in this one. And Ash is this guy, Ash. He's the detective. He's looking for Trinity. And he learns that other people have tried, but they failed. And one committed suicide, one is missing, and one went insane. So apparently this is not an easy job to go after.
Careful here.
There are, without going into a lot of details, there are a lot of things from Alice in Wonderland in this.
Oh yeah, that's
segment.
Right. The looking glass, the bug. Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And of course it has, it has the usual Matrix thing. Oh, this wasn't real. It was the Matrix. It has all, they all have that thing. But I really liked this one. I really liked the animation. I liked the way it looked. I thought they really put a lot of attention into the style and stuff. And I thought the voice actors did a really good job in this part.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I agree to that too. Yep. Yeah, so the agents end up finding them on this train, and of course, Trinity escapes through the window, leaving Ash there to deal with the Matrix guys. And I like the end scene where he's kind of just there. He like lights a cigarette and he's like looking at him with a gun pointed, and it just kind of just ends like that. That was cool. But but all in all, it just, again, it's all these stories are like little snippets, like a little quick little shot as of like it's some of them don't really make a lot of sense, and some of them are like just really small stories that kind of it's almost like a way for these different Japanese artists to kind of show off their skill and kind of while applying the rules of the Matrix to it. You know, they're kind of like little small stories that may not or may have a lot to do with the Matrix, but some of them are kind of just like, wait, what? I don't know. Some of them were a little off. I would like to see them try to do more stories like this again. And you and I really like this style of film, you know, where you get a bunch of small stories all into one. But I think for this one, there were more. After watching it as an adult, I feel like there were more misses than hits when it comes to the different stories that I saw. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, I have to
I think
agree.
when I was younger, I think maybe I was more enamored with the animation and the styles of the different Japanese creators. In the Matrix world, that was cool to me. It was different. It was something I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
But I really felt like watching it as an adult. A lot of these were kind of, I don't know, maybe the idea just kind of flamed out over time, and it didn't seem to have as much of an impact as it did when I was younger when I first saw it. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I was so excited about it. Like, you haven't seen this one. I've been waiting to show you this one. You're gonna love it. And then, as I'm watching, I'm thinking, oh my God, Jay's not. I'm pretty sure Jay's.
That's happened to me with you also. So don't worry
yeah,
about
it
that.
happened.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to episode number 8, Matriculated.
Matriculated.
We won't beat the machines by making them our slaves. Better to let them join us by choice.
That world we show them isn't real.
To an artificial mind, all reality is virtual.
Come on, damn it, help me.
Okay, episode 8, Matriculated. This one, I'm telling you, I'm barely remembering this one even. If that's what I
this
can
one,
barely
like,
remember.
Yeah. It's this girl, Alexa. She's sitting like watching the sea, kind of like panning out, looking for right. And she has like a little monkey in this little box.
Oh,
or
that's
something,
right, in a little jar or whatever. Yeah.
You know, Alexa reminds me of this old Adult Swim cartoon called Eon Flux.
Yes. Now I
Eon
watched Eon Flux, and I really liked that. That show was great.
Right.
The animation
it kind of reminded me of that. Like,
and see that I thought was great. And I can see that, but it just wasn't as good as Eon Flux.
Yeah, right. Wasn't as right, as crisp.
And it's something about her trying to convince the machine that it needs to come over to our side.
Right.
Something.
Almost like once they can like almost reprogram the machine to fighting with them instead of against them.
Yeah.
And so they lure them into this laboratory, and they're trying to like set them up. And I don't know. Again, this is another one where I didn't really understand the idea until I had to like read the description of it itself. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's what was happening. Yeah. So there was 2 runners that are coming at them. Alexa lures them into there, and then they're trying to reprogram these bots into kind of fighting for them. But they don't realize that they also alerted other Sentinel reinforcements to come in after them, which comes in later. Yeah.
And Alexa realizes at the end of this that she's not really alive anymore, that the robot's just trying to keep her alive in this world, but that she's dead.
Oh, that's scary.
And she screams, and her avatar screams and dissolves. So that's kind of like
right.
But by this point I'm like, okay, whatever.
I kind of feel the same way too, and I hate to say that, but I agree with you on that. Yeah.
Okay. So let's move into episode 9, Final Flight of the Osiris, or it could be episode 1, depending on which version you have seen.
Oh, okay.
And we'll talk about that in a moment.
Oh, I didn't realize there were different versions. Okay.
Final Flight of the Osiris.
Sentinels. There's thousands of them.
Directly above us. Zion has to be warned. Go.
Come get some.
Fly, baby. Fly.
Okay, so Final Flight of the Osiris. Is Osiris?
I think it's Osiris, yeah.
I think it is Osiris, yeah.
Osiris.
Okay. This animated short was featured
Oh yeah.
It's set. Well, it sets up the video game Enter the Matrix. And so that's where, and also I think they showed this before one of the movies, actually, when it went.
Right. Yeah. I think just this one short to kind of
and
garner
also,
a little bit of buzz about it. Yeah.
Also, now when I watched it on Prime, this is the final episode.
Oh, really?
But in other versions, this is the first episode.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's really strange. Okay, this one, the blindfolded sword fight. What a boring video game. It went on and on and on. Oh,
I actually like this one.
Peek at you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, give me a fucking break.
I actually liked it. I thought the colors were beautiful. The animation was really nice. I liked it.
It looks like a video game.
It does, but it's a cartoon. It's supposed to not look like.
Oh no! It looks like a video game. It just,
okay.
Then they get to the real battle, which looks like all the other battles, except this is even more like a video game than the other ones. This is even more video game looking.
Yeah.
And what did the ending mean? Where she falls dead to the ground, her body was destroyed on the ship.
I don't even know.
I'm sorry, Keith. This part, I'm like, really? This was one of the worst in the whole show.
Yeah. What happened was, they had, so that whole fight simulation had ended because it was abruptly interrupted by
an attack or something.
Right, an attack on the ship, the Osiris. And so they had to quickly flee the area, and they realized that they end up going through this certain portal or the certain little passageway, and to see that all of these Sentinel armies were like forming, and they were drilling into the bottom to take out Zion, which is, I think, like the main hub of like the main human hub or whatever the Matrix is in. And so the only way to save it was to get the girl for her to go back, enter the Matrix, and go back and try to alert others and warn them, knowing that both would end up dying, and they ended up both perishing in the end. But yeah, again, I had to do so much reading to figure out what was really happening, and maybe it's because we're just not as huge, gung-ho Matrix fans, that some of this kind of felt a little flat.
Some of this was like beyond that. It was like, no, you're not explaining yourself. It was all about how it looked and not making sense.
Right.
A little bit of background at the end of the kid's story. His gravestone reads, Michael Karl Popper, beloved son, rest in peace. Karl Popper is a famous 20th century philosopher. That's why they use
okay.
I said this earlier. The Final Flight of Osiris was originally shown as a standalone piece in the theatrical release of The Matrix Reloaded, right before the main film. And it helped provide background information as to how the humans first found out about the human threat to Zion.
Okay, so there you go. There you go.
And one thing, I don't know if you noticed this, in the episode Matriculated, when the Sentinels attack the humans in the lab near the end, there is a Wilhelm scream. Now, the Wilhelm scream is the
I did notice that. I totally heard that. Which you'll hear at the end of our episodes.
Yes, which I always have at the end of our episode. That's a famous sound effect.
I totally caught on to that. I was like, man, I've heard it. It's almost like now that I know it. Every time I hear it, you can't unhear it. Yeah.
It's one of those things that once you know about it, you see it everywhere.
Right.
You hear it everywhere.
Yeah,
like,
oh my God,
I can't believe it's everywhere. Just a couple of critic quotes. Sean Axemaker from Stream on Demand said, fun and inventive and short enough that they don't wear out their welcome. I have to say, at least they weren't too long.
Right. Yeah.
Carlo Cavagna from AboutFilm.com says, far from fleshing out the universe of The Matrix, this cynical, self-indulgent marketing tie-in renders it less coherent. Boasts only a few memorable visual moments and suffers from a paucity of narrative.
Okay, good. All right, good. That is almost exactly what I would say it to. I think that's a really well-written description of how I felt, to be honest with you.
IMDb has got a 7.3.
Okay.
There is no Amazon Prime rating, and I think that's because this didn't come out at the theaters. This was mostly on streaming and television and stuff. The tomato meter, 89%.
Okay. I mean, again,
audience,
go ahead. Audience
score is 78%, which is I think more realistic.
All right,
I would
think
go
so
lower
too.
than that. I would go like 65%, maybe. I think.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like diehard Matrix fans. Like, there's a cult following of the whole franchise, and it does. And I think this was like a take on the Matrix franchise, done it in a really creative way, using different Japanese writers or directors to try to get their ideas out there. But again, I just think there was a lot of confusion, and it was kind of, I don't know, it didn't sit with me the same way that it did when I first watched it when I was younger. Yeah.
Well, I have to say, asking myself this question, would I recommend it? I really can't say that I would.
Yeah.
I really can't say I would. And I'm not saying, oh my God, it was a torture. It wasn't a torture.
Sure.
It's, like any film that has, and now I'm blanking out on the term for it.
Anthology?
Anthology, thank you. God bless. Like any anthology type film, there's always going to be pluses and minuses. They're not always going to hit.
Of course.
But to me, this one was just so repetitive. They all kind of went back to the same premise. This is all fake. This is all fake. This is all fake. It's so I can't say I recommend this one, but it wasn't the worst movie you ever maybe watched.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay.
That's saying a lot.
That is saying a lot, boy. Okay. So contact info. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just look for HYSTO or HYSTO1. You can find this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Prime, wherever you get your podcasts. Wherever you find your pods, please subscribe to us and leave a rating. It helps other people find us. It helps other people join the party. Yeah. And we'd love to hear from you. So for our next episode,
what do you have in store for me now? What's going on?
This is hilarious. Okay, this is a movie that I haven't seen either.
But
our good friend Kelly Arnold wants us to talk about this movie, and I've heard so much about this, and when you're gonna hear the title, you're not gonna believe that it's she that recommended it. The title is The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Wait, what? No, this cannot be about the kill.
The title is The Killing of a Sacred Deer from 2017.
What? That's not.
And Kelly wanted us to talk about it. So I know for a fact already, we can already say, obviously, no animals die in this movie because she's not going to want to talk about a movie where the animal actually dies.
Okay.
So obviously, this is a metaphor for something.
I was going to say it's got to be a metaphor, right?
I have not seen it either, Keith. I haven't seen it either.
Okay, interesting.
The only thing
can we get Kelly on? Is Kelly going to join us for this one?
Oh yeah, Kelly's joining us.
Sweet.
Sure.
Okay, good. Awesome. Good. Okay, good.
It does star Barry Keogh. Barry Keogh was the star of Saltburn.
Oh, he was. Oh, yeah.
He was the one who did the naked dance in Saltburn.
Yeah. Oh, he was the main in that. Okay, great.
Yeah. So he's in this also. It's from 2017. I've heard really interesting things about it, but I've never seen it. When she said she wanted us to talk about it, I'm like, let's do it. So you and I will be virgins to this movie. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, wonderful. Me too. Okay, man. Well, until and by the way, happy Cinco de Mayo.
Hey, Cinco de Mayo as of
Cinco de Mayo.
This recording,
by the time y'all hear this, it'll be over. But
happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. And much love to the family. And I hope y'all start feeling better soon. Oh
I hope so too, buddy. But this is a great time. Even the bad movies, it's still fun to talk about them. It makes for a good conversation. So
okay, buddy. Okay, until next time, I'm Jay Bullington.
And I'm Keith Carcino.
Y'all keep watching movies.
Bye-bye. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay.